Think of a world in which you are not dominated by your emotions, where you can retain serenity and self-discipline when faced with challenges, where you have the ability to determine your own happiness, regardless of the circumstances around you. This is the incredible potential of Stoicism, a philosophy that was shaped by ancient sages such as Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, Greek and Roman thinkers who unlocked the secrets to living a more balanced and resilient life. One of the most famous stories of Stoicism involves the experience of overcoming Epictetus, a slave who faced terrible abuse from his master. One day, his master, in a fit of rage, broke his leg. Epictetus, faced with this extreme adversity, looked at his wounded leg and said serenely, "At least I have one leg left." This narrative illustrates Epictetus's remarkable ability to control his emotions even in the face of extremely challenging circumstances. He didn't allow anger or resentment to take over his mind. Instead, he focused his attention on what he could control and tried to make the best of the situation. Stoicism offers valuable lessons that can guide you in the same direction. This ancient Greek philosophy has the power to teach you how to master your thoughts and emotions, enabling you to live a more resilient and rewarding life. Its essence lies in the art of focusing on the spheres of control that belong to us and embracing with serenity that which escapes our grasp. Throughout history, Stoicism has been adopted by some of the most influential and successful personalities who have ever lived. The principle of Stoicism lies in the conviction that only our own thoughts and actions are under our direct control. Everything else, such as our possessions, personal connections, and health, is beyond our control. When we direct our attention to what is beyond our command, we are paving the way for disillusionment and disappointment. Therefore, we must focus our efforts on what we can truly influence, ourselves. The Stoics held the conviction that the route to a life filled with happiness and fulfillment lies in concentrating on areas under our mastery, letting go of negative feelings and thoughts, such as anger, resentment, and fear. It also involves calmly accepting what is beyond our control, including past events and the actions of others, as something we cannot change. Therefore, this philosophy advocates abandoning fruitless worries and calmly accepting what we cannot change. In this sense, the Stoics emphasize the importance of directing our efforts and energy towards issues that we can influence. This does not mean that we should become apathetic or indifferent to adversity, but rather that we should focus on acting constructively in relation to the challenges we face. By cultivating the ability to calmly accept what we cannot change and focus our efforts on what we can influence, we build a solid foundation for a happier, more balanced and meaningful life. Stoicism therefore offers us a practical and wise way to deal with the complexities of life and achieve lasting inner peace. Stoicism doesn't turn us into insensitive robots. It actually teaches us to embrace our emotions. The Stoics believed in the importance of recognizing our feelings and experiencing them fully. However, the key is not to allow these emotions to take the reins of our actions. When an emotion arises, it is essential to recognize it and allow ourselves to feel its impact. However, acting impulsively or in a way that we might regret in the future is what Stoicism urges us to avoid. Stoicism emerges as a valuable ally in our quest for a life full of happiness and satisfaction. This timeless philosophy offers profound and practical lessons on mastering our emotions, dealing effectively with challenges, and strengthening our resilience in the face of life's complexities. By delving into the pages of history and exploring the wisdom of the Stoics, we can find valuable guidance that remains incredibly relevant in our contemporary world. If you want to deepen your knowledge of Stoicism and discover concrete ways to incorporate its principles into your everyday life, this video is an opportunity not to be missed. Together, we will embark on a journey of self-discovery and learning, exploring the path of Stoicism as a powerful tool to promote your well-being, contentment, and personal growth. Here are some specific ways in which Stoicism can help you control your thoughts and emotions. 1. Stoicism is a powerful ally in the quest for a peaceful and positive mind. The Stoics taught that our thoughts shape our emotions. When we allow negative thoughts, negative emotions are likely to overwhelm us. However, by recognizing and confronting these harmful thoughts, we have the power to transform our emotions to a more positive and balanced state. 2. Stoicism offers a valuable lesson on how to direct our attention to the here and now. The Stoics argued that the only real domain we have is the present. When our mind wanders to the past or worries about the future, we often overwhelm ourselves with anxiety and stress. However, By cultivating the ability to focus our attention on the present moment, we are able to leave these negative emotions behind, allowing us to enjoy a renewed sense of peace and contentment. 3. Stoicism is a valuable guide to teach us to embrace what is beyond our ability to alter. On life's journey, countless situations are beyond our control, such as past events, the actions of others, and the course of nature. When we stubbornly resist these inevitabilities, we only inflict anguish and suffering on ourselves. On the other hand, by accepting what we cannot change, we discover a haven of peace and serenity. The Stoics shared the view that emotions are not intrinsically negative. They simply represent natural human reactions to the varied situations we encounter in life. However, the Stoics also argued that emotions can become harmful if they are not properly managed. When we allow our emotions to dominate us, we are more likely to act impulsively and adopt behaviors that we will later regret. In addition, we are more likely to experience negative emotions such as anger, resentment, and fear. Therefore, learning to control our emotions is one of the key principles of Stoicism. In Stoic philosophy, we find a deep and meaningful path in search of a life filled with happiness and satisfaction. In this context, the mastery of control over our emotions takes center stage. However, it is crucial to understand that this mastery does not boil down to a cold and insensitive repression of our feelings. On the contrary, the Stoics teach us the art of emotional authenticity, which involves fully and sincerely acknowledging our feelings and allowing ourselves to embrace them without judgment. And instead of being enslaved by our emotions, we are empowered to make conscious choices about how to respond to them. This is the core of Stoic wisdom, where self-discipline and self-reflection lead us to a state of emotional balance and inner strength. Through exploring these principles, we can discover a meaningful approach to navigating the complexity of our lives, seeking true happiness and fulfillment. Our thoughts have the power to shape our emotions. When our thoughts are negative, we often experience negative emotions. On the other hand, when our thoughts are positive, we are more likely to feel positive emotions. Our thoughts act as a kind of focus, determining where we direct our attention. When we focus on negative thoughts, we are in fact reinforcing the idea that things are not going well and that we are powerless over them. This can lead to feelings of helplessness, hopelessness, and anguish. On the other hand, when our thoughts are positive, we are strengthening the belief that things are under control and that we have the ability to face the challenges ahead. This tends to generate feelings of self-confidence, optimism, and empowerment. If you want to take complete control of your feelings, I've left a link in the first comment that will help you achieve this as the Stoics did. Now, with regard to thoughts, there are a number of things you can do to control them. 1. Recognizing and confronting negative thoughts. The first step in mastering your thoughts is to realize when negative thoughts arise. Once you're aware of these thoughts, it's time to challenge them. Start by asking yourself if there are concrete reasons for your negative thoughts. Are you genuinely in a dangerous situation? Do you really lack the necessary skills to deal with the situation? 2. Replace negative thoughts with positive ones. After questioning a negative thought, replace it with a more optimistic thought that is grounded in reality. For example, if you're thinking, "I'm going to fail the test," replace it with the thought, "I've studied diligently and I'm well prepared for the test." 3. Cultivate conscious presence. Mindful presence is the act of devoting your attention to the present moment without making judgments. When you practice mindful presence, you become more aware of your thoughts and emotions, enabling you to control them more effectively. There are various approaches to cultivating mindful presence, such as meditation, yoga, and Tai Chi. Experiment with these different techniques to find the one that best suits your style. Once you've learned to control your thoughts, you'll be better able to control your emotions. However, there are some additional things you can do. 1. Open up to your emotions. Avoid trying to stifle or avoid your emotions. Instead, welcome them as normal parts of being human and allow yourself to experience them fully. There is nothing wrong with feeling sad, angry, or afraid from time to time. Remember that your emotions are a natural part of the human experience. 2. Release your emotions in a positive way. After fully experiencing your emotions, look for healthy ways to release them. This can include talking to a trusted friend, expressing yourself through writing in a journal, or releasing emotional energy through physical activities, such as exercise. 3. Maintain control over your emotions. Just because you feel an emotion doesn't mean you need to act impulsively under its effect. Keep in mind that you have the power to consciously choose how to respond to your emotions. This allows you to make considered decisions instead of reacting impulsively. Here are some specific Stoic techniques you can use to control your thoughts and emotions. 1. The idea of the dichotomy of control, a Stoic principle, categorizes the world into two distinct parts: what we can influence and what is beyond our control. We have the power to direct our own thoughts, actions, and attitudes, but we have no control over the thoughts, actions, and attitudes of others, nor over external events such as the weather or the economy. When our attention turns to what we cannot control, we are paving the way for disappointment and frustration. The wise alternative is to concentrate our efforts on what we can actually influence and thus make the most of the situation. 2. The negative visualization technique, a Stoic method, involves imagining the worst possible outcome in a situation. This practice helps to reduce fears and anxieties. For example, if you're worried about a presentation, you could imagine forgetting the content completely or saying something embarrassing. After visualizing this negative scenario, ask yourself if it would really be so terrible. Is a mistake during a presentation really the end of the world? Probably not. In fact, mistakes can be opportunities to learn and improve in future presentations. 3. Memento mori is a Latin expression that translates to "remember that you are mortal." It carries the Stoic teaching that life is fleeting and that we should live it to the full. By keeping in mind that death is inevitable, we can gain valuable perspective and realize that the day-to-day worries that consume us today are not so relevant in the bigger picture of existence. 4. The Stoic virtues are essential qualities for living a full and meaningful life. They include wisdom, which guides us in distinguishing between right and wrong and helps us make thoughtful decisions. Courage gives us the strength to face challenges and act correctly, even when the situation is difficult. Justice directs us to treat others with fairness and respect. Moderation helps us to avoid extremes and maintain balance in our actions. Incorporating these virtues into our lives helps us to control our thoughts and emotions, making us less susceptible to negative feelings such as anger, fear, and resentment. Stoicism is an incredibly valuable philosophy that enables us to master our thoughts and emotions, leading us to a life full of happiness and satisfaction. According to the Stoics, the only sphere we truly dominate consists of our own thoughts and actions. Everything else, such as material possessions, relationships, and health, is beyond our reach. By focusing excessively on what is beyond our control, we only predispose ourselves to disappointment and irritation. The Stoics gave us a valuable lesson on how to lead a happy and fulfilling life. Focus our efforts on what we can effectively control, while calmly accepting what is beyond our control. In this pursuit, we distance ourselves from harmful thoughts and emotions, such as anger, resentment, and fear. Likewise, we embrace with resignation what we cannot change, such as the past and the actions of others. However, Stoicism should not be understood as an invitation to emotional insensitivity, because the Stoics value the experience of emotions. The key is not to allow these emotions to overwhelm us, but to recognize them and experience them consciously. In this way, we avoid impulsive decisions and behaviors that would give us future regrets. Stoicism is an ongoing journey, not a final destination to be reached once and for all. Mastering control of our thoughts and emotions doesn't happen overnight, but through constant commitment. Like any journey, it requires time, dedication, and constant practice. However, the benefits you will reap along the way are extraordinary and make every step worthwhile. Stoicism offers a valuable set of principles that have the potential to significantly enrich your life. By committing to this philosophy, you gain the tools to face challenges with greater courage and resilience. You learn to manage your emotions, becoming less susceptible to impulsive reactions and more capable of making rational choices. In addition, Stoicism can help you build a more promising future with a more positive outlook and a deeper understanding of yourself and the world around you. Thus, by venturing on this journey, you open the door to a more joyful, fulfilling, and resilient life, where true happiness and fulfillment are tangible and attainable goals. And the only way to achieve these goals is to follow Marcus Aurelius's philosophy, so that you don't feel undermined and give up halfway through. So click on the video on the screen and watch it now.